You're looking at here is some Yamadori maple that I collected. I'll get in closer so you can see those. I got those maybe, I want to say 3 weeks ago. Now I got those at the side of the road, actually beside of a bridge. I think they must come in and top them, cut them back so that they don't interfere with the bridge. So it's one place where if you're passing bridges you can look off to the sides, and they must do some sort of, highways must do some sort of pruning there so you can get some really good potential bonsai, because they've been topped quite a few times already, and so it creates gnarl. And it's also the steep banks that are there, and so you get this really unique curves to the trees. So we'll start with this bonsai here. It's super big. I'll cut it back at some point, maybe, you know, right about here. I'm not entirely sure when's the best time to cut it back, but for now it just has to survive and stay in the pot. And I like this one because it's just a thick stalk, so eventually it'll grow up and you can get a canopy growing here of maple leaves. Now these are quite big leaves. So hopefully over time I can get them to ramify. I don't have it in that small of a pot right now, but like I said, I just want these trees to survive. This is the one I'm probably the most happy with. I've wired up a bunch of the branches just so they can face up, but what you see is down here is this is just amazing. I don't know how this was even created, but just thick stalk, this gnarled out section here, loops back around and comes up. Now originally I had wanted to tilt the tree even more to have this coming up off the ground, but there's actually a bunch of roots that stick in, and so that must feed all this parts of the tree coming up here. So you know, what's also really cool about this, and you might be able to see it a bit, is that a bunch of this is all dying in here, so there's some dead wood in here, so I can eventually maybe carve that out if I wanted. Looks like there's a bit of dead wood up here. So there might be a nice vein that this thing wraps all the way around, the old vein that was there. So it's just an amazing find. Just so happy with this. You can see all this just gnarl. So this should be a beautiful tree at some point. Here we have put this in a little pot. Quite tall, another quite tall one. Nothing too special about this one. I just really, you know, again, it was a thick stalk, and I just wanted to start collecting. It had some lower branches, which is one of the things I was looking for, so that if I do decide to top it, then it can grow some branches. Here's another small one that I collected. Now this one you can see someone came in and topped it at some point, so it just started growing this lower growth. And this is eventually what I'm hoping to do, right, is to get this sort of branched out, slowly cut these back, get more and more branches here, and hopefully it will create a canopy. And it's fairly thick stalk, so it's one way to start. You know, these are the first deciduouses that I've ever worked on. Nice, easy to collect. And I'm actually quite happy. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they turn out. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.